Yeah, at this point, we still know multiple people injured. We're actually going to talk with Clairton Mayor right now, Richard Lattanzi. Mayor, what are you hearing so far of this unfortunate situation?
Well, like I said, I had some people text me this morning. I was at the hospital with my dad getting some tests and said, hey, my house is shook. There was a big explosion, we think, from the mill. And then on my 911 call, I saw that they called for multiple ambulances and possible, multiple injuries and so on and so forth. And like I said, when I got back, I wanted to talk to some people in the mill. Everybody's still trying to sort it out, but at the end of the day, it was a tragedy. An explosion supposedly from a reversing room between 13 and 15 battery, and some people possibly injured, maybe critically. And my heart goes out to them and their family, and I'm just so sad about this whole day. And the mill is such a big part of Clairton, but anyone that works there, and I don't care how young or how old you are, you got to work every day to make a living for your family. You need to go home healthy, and some people are not going to see the same husband or son or somebody that's working the mill, and it's just a sad day for Clairton.
Explain what that means. For those of us that have never been there, what does that reversing battery mean? What exactly is all that?
I don't know what the reversing room does, but I know it's very important to 13 and 15 batteries operation. So that's two more batteries that are down right now. And just recently, Clairton had a couple other batteries go down. So now these batteries will be down for a while until this can be rebuilt, which is going to be a long process. But at the end of the day, the injuries and if there's any deaths or whatever, we can't take that back. We can't rebuild that or fix that. Somebody today, is injured, and there's going to be a lot of pain and sorrow with their family and friends. And all the coworkers that work in there, what do you think they're thinking right now? This could have been me, or this could be me next week. So, they have a tough job, and it's a dangerous job, and my heart bleeds for every one of them and their families.
I was going to say, you have a very personal connection to U.S. Steel. You work just down the road at the Irvin Works. While maybe not this plant, you're still, USW bonded. What's that feeling for you? Not just as like the political leader here, but as someone that's worked in the mill, worked with steel workers.
Right. The union and the mills are my brothers and sisters. I was a union worker, and I just recently, in the last couple of years, helped get a couple dozen people hired. There could have been somebody in this mill today that I helped them get a job because they wanted a good paying job. And now I'm thinking to myself, wow, I got them a job, and now they're injured. But I mean, yeah, they're union brothers and sisters, and it would be like somebody in your family. We're all family, and I just, like I said, I'm just so distraught.
I know it's still early. Is there any potential hazard to the people of Clairton at this point? Should they be sheltering in place? Should they be doing anything like that?
Well, I would have probably got a call for somebody, a heads up higher up in the U.S. Steel to say, Mayor, you got an issue with the pollution or Clairton. I did not receive a phone call, and I heard things were under control, so I'll go with that for now.
Who's kind of being the lead on this? Is this what could be county emergency services? It probably handles everything.
Oh yeah, with something of this magnitude, it went out to the county, and I saw an all call, which means everybody that's available come. And mass injuries, possibly casualties. So we got people as far as Pittsburgh, Verona. I saw a couple of the ambulances, whatever. I got my guys from council out here helping out with traffic. My public works guys. Everybody's chipping in to make this work. And by the end of the day, we'll know more. But it's not going to be a pretty thing.
Obviously, a very tragic situation. But you talk about how quickly responses from all neighboring communities, even other parts of the county, getting here. How much does that help to facilitate getting these people the help they need and also make sure everyone else stays safe?
Well, we did recently have some of these questions at our council meeting where people were saying, Mayor, what about something happens down the mill? How would it know? I mean, how would we get help? How are we going to get the information out? Well, this is a prime example today. So the county kind of took the lead on that. And if there's any implications environmentally and some people in Clairton got a shelter in place, I didn't receive that call yet, but the county got it all under control, and they know all the phone numbers and all the players. And yeah, I got a call from my senator, state representative, and so on and so forth. And guess what? They're all saying, Mayor, if you need something, let me know. I got a call from the Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis. So it's a big deal for everyone.
Is there a plan in place for these? Was there a plan today to handle it?
Yes, there is. There is an emergency plan in place. They review it every 3 to 5 years. There's definitely a plan in place.
Thank you. I know you're a wanted man, or a very busy man. I'll let you go to your next one. Again, that was Mayor Richard Lattanzi of the city of Clairton describing how it was being handled here. Again, you heard plan in place. At this point, he's still finding out details just like we are. We know County Emergency Services is handling the investigation. We've asked them to see what we can further learn. We'll keep you posted both on air and online. Live in Clairton, Chris Hoffman, KDK TV News.